Alright, so today we are going to climb down under the dash, going to remove the factory pedal, and install the drive-by-wire pedal. And I'm not sure what the plan is here. I'll figure it out as I go. But the first things first, I am going to remove those two bolts to remove the stock gas pedal. Alright, I have removed the gas pedal. And now I gotta take this new one, figure out how to mount it somewhere in that region. And then once I do, I'm probably going to cut and weld the actual pedal so it goes in the right spot. So I think the first thing I want to do is figure out how to mount it to the firewall. And after that, I'll figure out where the actual gas pedal placement needs to be. Okay, so I guess I'm going to pull off some of this padding here and see what's behind it. Alright, so I've cut away the insulation and I've pulled out one push pin, and it seems like this is actually going to fit pretty well without too much drama. It's going to kind of sit right up in there. It looks like right where the push pin is, which is this hole right here, I could probably use that bolt hole in the upper right corner of the pedal, and that'll sort of give me a starting point to base the other holes off of. So I think I'm going to do that and go from there. And like I said, I'm probably just going to cut this pedal right off, and then I'll just weld a new one wherever. Well, actually, I'll probably cut up the original so it matches properly, and I'll just basically make a new pedal, which should be pretty easy. All right, so let's get some bolts and nuts and see where it takes us. All right, so I put a bolt in the top through the hole that was already in the firewall for the push pin, and now I need to drill a hole in the bottom. It turns out there's only 2 holes in this gas pedal, which I'm kind of surprised by. That doesn't seem like a whole lot for holding gas pedal to the firewall, but I guess it's enough. So anyways, I already have one bolt in, which you can see up there with a washer. And now I'm gonna come down here with a drill and drill a hole right through there. And then I'm gonna put a bolt through it, and that part will be done. Then I'll just have to cut off the actual gas pedal itself. You can see it will hit the floor right now if I try and push it. But I'm going to cut that off, and then I'm going to weld the original one in place, most likely. Or maybe I'll just move this one over. I'm not really sure yet. Alright, so let's drill a hole. Alright, so I drilled out the firewall, and I threw a bolt in there. I haven't put a nut on the other side. I did on the top one, but not on the bottom one. So it's just kind of held in place now, kind of finger tight. So now what I have to do is I have to move this gas pedal over because it is way over to the right, and it hits the bell housing, or the floor transmission hump. That's what I meant. So I'm going to cut it off up here. I'll remove it from the car. I'll cut this off, and then probably cut it off somewhere down here, and then I'll move the two closer together and weld it up tight. On the firewall side of the gas pedal, I don't want to just put a nut in a washer because I don't feel super safe that it won't rip through the firewall at some point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a steel plate with a couple holes in it, as you can see, and I'm going to weld some nuts to it, and then I'm going to thread the bolts through the gas pedal, through the firewall, and into this plate. And that should prevent the bolts from pulling through the firewall at any point. Yeah, so here we go. Let's cut it out. So I cut it out, and then I ran it over the belt sander and kind of smoothed it out a little bit. So now I'm going to drill the holes in it and weld some nuts on. We'll see how that goes. Alright, so I've now made the plate, I've drilled it out, and then I've put the nuts and the bolts through it. So now I'm going to weld these nuts onto the plate, and then they will be permanently there. Alright, so I guess that's next. And yeah, pretty cool, right? Alright, let's go. Alright, so I've now welded the nuts onto the plate, and now I guess what I'll do is I'll throw some spray paint on it so it doesn't rust immediately, And yeah, I think that part's done. I need to reinforce the gas pedal because I will feel a little more comfortable doing more than one weld on it. So I'm gonna make a little sort of, I think you call them like fish plates. If you're doing a frame, I don't know what you'd call it on a brake pedal. It probably isn't a thing. So I'm gonna make one of those, and then I'm gonna weld it up. I'm welding the gas pedal really slowly because I don't want to destroy the sensor on it. So I'm doing like, I don't know, a ½ inch of weld at a time, and it's taking hours. All right, let's get back to it. All right, I sort of skipped ahead, and I apologize for that. But the gas pedal is now mounted, and I threw some paint on it. I reinforced the pedal. So now the pedal is in the right spot. You can see it moves. Use the plate on the back side, or on the engine side, to hold it in place so the bolts don't rip through. And I'd say it's pretty much done. So yeah, I'm very happy with it. It's actually very easy to install. I'm kind of surprised it wasn't more painful than it was. So yeah, I guess we're gonna wrap up this one for today. So that's the gas pedal, and I'll see you next time.